Hey world, it's Justin, and welcome to Anywhere the Needle Drops. It is an off week. It is a bonus episode. That's right, we are here. Finally. We've been promising you the Justin Wells ATND Live, and we've got it ready to go for you. Thank you for your patience. We wanted to make sure the sound was, crisp, perfect, and that everyone involved loved what we were doing. We just had to make sure, because we don't want to deliver a lesser product to you. We want to deliver the best. And that's what we've got right here. Justin Wells returns to the show so we can do a fun live session. It was really great having him for this. We'll get into that in just a moment. How are we doing out there, folks? Just wanted to give a quick check-in and a shout-out. I know it's real hard out there. I want to thank everyone out there standing up against the darkness happening in our country right now. Those folks out there standing up in the streets or however else. There are so many ways that you can push back against what this regime is doing. Not everyone's comfortable or able even to go out there and protest in the streets, and that's okay because that's not the only thing that needs to be done. People are doing all sorts of things, and just do your part, do what you can do to help. That is what matters. If everybody stood up and did a little bit, did their part, that goes so far, so long. And everybody can contact Congress, contact your representatives, and let them know how you feel about what's going on, and that you demand action from them to stop what's happening. Shout out to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. All right, so Justin Wells in the studio. It was such a pleasure to have Justin and company in person at Theory One Studios to hang out and make some musical magic. What a fun time. We got to hear some great versions of songs from Justin off the Cynthiana album that came out last year, and also one of the older tracks there. So he sat down, he did these great acoustic versions of Till the Stars Won't Burn, Queen of Queens, Up There with the Angels, and Walls Fall Down, and told some stories along with them, of course, before sitting down with me for a chat. And it was great. A couple of cool things coming related to this project. Some I'm not even going to get into yet. We can't get into that yet. But one thing I can get into is the fact that our sister project, Soul Seed, which you may have seen on our social media over the last couple of months, it's featuring a lot of cool things, including some great video versions of these live sessions. So there is a Soul Seed version of this AT&D Live with Justin Wells, and that will be dropping Sunday. So you have to check out this audio fun here on the podcast today, and then stay tuned on Sunday for the Soul Seed drop. Gonna be a ton of fun. We have so much fun planned with Red Chuck Productions here this year, and with Theory One. It's going to be a big year, folks. Going to be a big year. We're going to make things. We're going to make beautiful, creative work. We're going to fight the power, and sometimes those two things go together, and that is a beautiful thing. So what I want you to do is I want you to check out Justin Wells on his website. He's so fantastic. Check the show notes. See where he's going to be playing. Order that album online. There's some, I believe, vinyl and some other fun stuff there. But Justin is a great artist, and glad to have him as a friend of Red Chuck Productions. All right, I'm going to stop yapping at you. Let's get to the show. This is Justin Wells coming to you from Theory One Studios with Anywhere the Needle Drops Live. Here's to life.
Pretty baby, I wanna see you smile. Oh, oh, I know that it's been raining. I know that beauty fades. Hit the lights, we're gonna let it out tonight till the stars won't burn. Take my hand, baby, it's my turn. I wanna make you happy, and I wanna make it clear. Oh, oh, every hurt is on the table, but it'll hold, my dear. Hit the lights, we're gonna let it out tonight till the stars won't burn. Take my hand, baby, it's my turn. I wanna see you grinning like a kid, singing Ruby Soho. Take my hand, I won't let it. Pretty baby, I love to see you smile. Oh, oh, I know that it's been raining, but your beauty never fades. Oh, hit the lights, we're gonna let it out tonight till the stars won't burn. Take my hand, baby, it's my turn. I wanna see you grinning like a kid, singing Ruby Soho. Take my hand, I won't let it go. 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 I wrote that song with one of my favorite songwriters, and that started as a young man, a guy named Matthew Ryan. She's about as beautiful a bomb as I've ever seen. I've just been staring at the photo there for her next to me. She brought me the feeling that a heart can't stop beating if it won't. And it's a good thing. She's a bright thing born in a lightning storm in a bottle. And I ain't never faked it, able to say what I ought. So let grateful and overwhelmed make the case that I should settle down, and it settled. She's a sight unseen. Her beauty's obscene. She's crowned the queen of queens. See, her days begun with a burning sun and a shadow. She'll reverse the tide and be first to ride into battle. She's as warm as desert trees on the bright side of Mercury, and it seems she's dopamine in a coffee bean. She's crowned the queen of queens. Ooh. So let these mountains move if she asks them to without waiting. Let the stars burn cold and dark with no hesitating. Oh, just let this writer's pen confess a final testament without end. She's a war machine, but her hands are clean. And she's crowned the queen of queens. She's the final scene, and she's the in-between. She's crowned the queen of queens. She's crowned the queen of queens. My new album, Cynthiana, is, I guess, conceptually, and we're going to avoid that concept word. It's not the concept album, but conceptually, it's certainly a 10-song love letter to my wife, and the song I'm about to play doesn't feel like a love song, but it works in that to me because it's really ultimately about as we're kind of, I think, as a nation right now struggling with who's looking out for who and trying to figure out if empathy is a lost cause. Ultimately, I think it's communities, and it's always been this. It's certainly always been this, in parts of Appalachia and not where I'm from, but in my state. It comes down to community looking out for one another because whoever they may be, and I think it's kind of always the same they're not looking out for us, and we can tolerate that or not. But I think thinking about our leaders as some sort of angels is a fool's game. And I think the angels are, to be a little corny, I guess, the angels are next door. So really, the song that sits in a bed of all these love songs, this song that's kind of angry, it still fits for me because my community, obviously, at first is my family and the people that live in the house with me. And certainly my wife. This is called Up There with the Angels. They got all the money, honey, and we're left with the bills. And I don't think it's funny, honey, it drive a man to steal. It drive a man to drinking, just to dream of better days. When the fat old white men fall like lightning and die in a cage. They're up there with the angels, we're down here with the dogs. We take out our own eyes just to see them when they fall. So this man lives on dirt floors with a box fan and a bed. And double time ain't enough time, he gonna be broke until he's dead. And this man lays on linen in a mansion in the hills. A November kingmaker breaking lies beneath his heels. They're up there with the angels, we're down here with the dogs. We take out our own eyes just to see them when they fall. If there's a line between us both, it'll damn sure get crossed. They're up there with the angels, and we're down here with the dogs. So baby, we won't take it. This ain't no place for laying down. This emperor is naked, out parading through the town. There ain't no time for talking. Let's quit thinking about the dream. When there's jokers in the castle, and we're the kings and queens. They're up there with the angels, we're down here with the dogs. We take out our own eyes just to see them when they fall. If there's a line between us both, it'll damn sure get crossed. They're up there with the angels, and we're down here with the dogs. During the pandemic, I released my second album, The United State, and so that album came out in August 2020. Not a great time to release music, and but it felt necessary because it felt like the statement I wanted to say. That was really a time where the kind of space between different ideologies was increasing, and I thought that the focus should be on what we have in common. That's really what that record's about, is like trying to, kind of trying to draw a life from the womb to the tomb, so to speak. And there was this last little section in there, like chronologically in an age, where it's about where my parents are at. And I was just thinking on them, and, they've been married since they were teenagers. And they've made it work through thick and thin kind of deal. And just, thinking about their love and how that love binds us when times aren't easy. And anyway, so we were trying to promote the thing. And we were putting together music videos. And for this one, so this was a time when venues were locked down and not able to open and have performances. And I had this idea that I wanted to kind of like, I just wanted to honor these venues that were kind of staples of my tours and places where I'd built a little community of fans, and just trying to honor them. We didn't really know what the future held at the time, and so we went around, me and my dear friend Adam Lee, and just shot this video on an iPhone 11. We basically went on tour and played for no one, which is like not necessarily something I don't have experience with. But we just kind of posted up in front of these venues and wanted to just get these shots of these places that I love. And what's striking to me as we sit and record this is the first venue in the music video is Duke's in Indianapolis, and Duke's just closed 2 days ago. Is the final evening, and so that's it's hanging heavy on me. This is called Walls Fall Down, and we'll just throw this one out there to our Dukes family. I'd lie if I said I was surprised to see it turn out this way. There's lightning in your eyes and there's a shotgun in the smile on your face. The blessings are all counted and the harvest is bound to get us through. And if I see the other side, there'll be no rest until I find you. When the walls fall down, when the last step hits the ground, let them all gather round, let the walls fall down. I'd look back if I care to see the younger me there at the first. Some foolish, mannish boy with a barely managed ploy to beat the worst. And there you are, my friend. You got my heart in your hand and time to kill. You know I'd do it all again if you give me one more chance. I swear to God I'd stand beside you still. When the walls fall down, when the last step hits the ground, let them all gather round, let the walls fall down. Miles behind me and there's sunshine blinding my view. I can barely see ahead, and there's a little more I've got left to lose. With your hand in mine, we gon' laugh the joke of time right in its face. Lord, for a minute there, I was afraid we was about to live forever in this place. When the walls fall down, when the last step hits the ground, let them all gather round, let the walls fall down, and I'd stand beside still. I would stand beside you still. When the walls fall down, when the last step hits the ground, let them all gather round, let the walls fall down. When the walls fall down, when the last step hits the ground, let them all gather round, let the walls fall down. When it's my time, give me one last look around, and let the walls fall down.
Justin, hey man, welcome to the show.
What's up, brother?
Hey,
How you
it's
doing?
so good to have you here. We were just chatting. You know, you've been on the show several times. I think this officially makes you the most number of appearances on the show of any guest. So
Yeah, and I'm supposed to get like a coffee mug
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
it's in the
right?
mail for you. So just
Yeah.
keep an eye out for
Well,
that.
in lieu of that, there's guitars hanging up in there, so we
That's
could
true.
do. Yeah,
I
like,
can't make any claim to all that.
figure
But
something
though I
out.
hear that WD's wandering around taking stuff anyway. So
it's crazy that y'all let a Florida man just walk around free in the studio. That's wild.
We're very loving and open people here.
You're
We're
gonna
trying
learn
to
about
help out.
trust, buddy.
So, yeah. So man, last time we talked was back in February, just before the release of the new record,
Yeah.
Cynthiana. So it's been a year of that.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
Well, it went 5 times platinum, and so life has just changed tremendously. I mean, it turns out people are buying music. Oh, sorry, this is the other timeline. No, it's done great, man. I can make my cynical laughs, but I'm proud of it. Twofold. A, because I think I came close to executing what I wanted to do. The meaning is certainly there, if not the performance. But also, man, like, I don't know, putting out a love record in 2025, like, that feels like a certain kind of middle finger with everything going on. So
Definitely, yeah.
yeah, I'm proud of it, man. People respond to the songs, and it's certainly sonically different than anything I've ever done. It's a lot lighter, etc. Yeah, I think we nailed it. I think I just sold another million copies with that sell.
Let's hope. Or
Right there.
I actually hear you have a cassette tape problem that you're trying to solve too. So from a
my
previous
God,
record.
yeah. Get those cassettes, man. It's like young guys. It's seriously like guys in their young 20s buying those cassettes because they got their Pepal's truck.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. It's a whole thing on the DIY punk scene. Believe me, I've seen it.
Yeah,
so,
well, I know that's been a thing kind of always, but so you punks, man, come out to my show. I know I didn't make a punk record, but come on out and try it.
Yeah, but it's a great record. So yeah, get that on cassette tape for sure. This is actually the previous record, right? That's on the cassette tape.
It's actually the first record.
First one.
and,
Yeah. So
no more cassettes.
Yeah, still a great record. Still a great
No more
record, cassette or
cassettes.
otherwise. All right, but the record we're talking about, you said it's a love story. It's a love story largely to your wife,
To
right?
my wife, yeah. So yeah, man. So it was really kind of born during lockdown and the pandemic, and just I make the joke. I when you tour and you tour significantly, you can feel like a guest in your own home, and there's always kind of this. I'm going to see my wife later today, and there's always this giddiness. Like, we've been married, man, for 13 years now.
Yeah.
As he does the math, cut
Pressure's
this part.
on.
Yeah.
We're on camera.
Yeah, 13 years. Yeah, I'm absolutely correct. Good, I nailed that. But like, man, it can feel like if I'm gone for a few weeks, like it can feel like a first date. Seeing your partner, your person who you talk to every day. And I think that's like one of our little I don't know, hot tips or secret to the thing working. But so anyway, so during lockdown, I'm just in her house and just under her feet and in her way, which is my lot. And I don't know. It was really me thinking about how frankly unfair it is. A lot of us that get to go out here and pretend to be rock stars, they're doing all the real work. They're doing all the stuff that really ultimately matters. Not to say I'm not shitting on my art. I'm proud of what I do, but my wife is making sure that my kids got the clothes on they're supposed to have on, that they're eating nutritious meals, that that the house is, and she's running her own business in the meantime. So it was me wanting to honor my partner and frankly all partners of people that are kind of in this industry and tour and gone a lot, because this ain't normal what we do. This is not healthy. So yeah, man, it's just me trying to show love,
Yeah. Well, and you guys have quite the story. You were playing last night.
Sounds fake.
Stockroom Music. Yeah, I guess. So what was, you were a prom date?
Yeah, man. So she all right. So then it's called Cynthiana because we're from a town called Cynthiana, Kentucky, and neither of us are from there, but that's where we went to middle school and high school, kind of thing. And so I met her freshman year of high school, my junior year of high school. We dated, got engaged. On the 4th of July, as one does in a small town, during the parade or whatever.
fireworks. I
And,
mean, you gotta, yeah.
Yeah, and we were engaged for about a year and kind of making our plans, but we were young, man. That is kind of what you do in that town. You get married young. We were too young, and so we didn't know how to communicate effectively yet. So we chose instead to just break up. I didn't choose, but
As the songs show.
yeah. So people that are especially familiar with my earlier career with Fifth on the Floor, a lot of heartbreak songs, and it's really all one woman. But we got back together now like 14 years ago, however long, and have been married 13, and with an 8-year vacation in the middle, where we kind of figured it out,
And she's got her own album now. So.
She's got her own album. She deserves a whole discography, but my volume is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and it is maybe a little more specific, but this album is in line with themes that you've got throughout all your work.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's always my voice, and I don't even mean that literally. I think it's in the lyrics, and it's certainly in my progressions, Yeah, I think so. I think so. If there's differences, I hear them more sonically in arrangements than I do in necessarily the message.
Sure, yeah.
And this one is obviously a little more specific, but yeah, I think there's a through line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unity, a lot of trying to show people the shared struggle as opposed to having struggle be the thing that splits us up. It should be the thing that brings us together, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So, what is it that draws you to singing about those themes?
It's kind of, I would have, I'm a psychoanalyze right in the moment. My personality is such that if everybody's going left, I want to go right. It's always been that way. It's certainly hurt me at times, but also think it helps me kind of be on my own little island, which can be advantageous because I don't have to go down with any ship that is a scene or whatever. But I don't know, man. I'm a hypersensitive person, and stuff affects me so much that sometimes I need to tune it out, to function. And I think it's just resistance to what I see as, and maybe it's my own little echo chamber, but what I see is just this constant IV drip of negativity and this hyper focus on the edges of our society instead of what I think we truly are, which is human beings struggling to eat and figure things out and trying to be happy and fall in love or whatever. So I just wholly reject this kind of like divisive notion that I think a lot of people are profiting from us believing. I'm no fool and I'm not naive, but I just wholly reject that people with different ideologies, et cetera, can't sit in a room and eat supper together. I ain't having that, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, you may not describe yourself this way, but you write love songs. Like every single album since you've been doing solo work. I mean,
a lot of them were just me in love, and maybe not feeling the reciprocal.
I mean, we just heard you play Walls, up there with the Angels, and then I'm just thinking back to, was it the first solo album? And you're writing about your kids. I mean, everything you're putting out there is so much about sharing love and showing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, I think you're a bigger softie than you give yourself credit for, or that you're putting out there.
A lot of this I'm finding out in real time, man. A lot of this I'm finding out in real time. But I think a guy that is my size, that looks like me, I'm in a unique position to do that. You know what I mean? I kind of invite anybody that would, have a problem with it or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's ultimately, I think that there's kind of, if I dare, writers kind of go into two very general columns to me. It's like writers that see, they're telling stories or whatever, up to and including like naming names, a John Prine type or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's writers like me that are just these like selfish, infantile people just talking about my feelings. Here's what I think, blah, blah, blah. I'm so much the latter, and I can't hardly be anything but that. And so, whatever comes out is what is going to come out. There's kind of no stopping it.
Well, you know, as many times as you've been on this show, I don't think we've ever actually gotten too deep into your origin story. So,
Okay.
you know, when was it that you first, you know, picked up the pen as a writer and, you know, start
It
down to write
started-
songs or whatever, you know?
Man, so this band I was in high school essentially just wanted to be Metallica, me most of all. And, but like, kind of like over here in the closet, over to the side, I'm like starting to write songs that are absolutely inappropriate for that band. They're just literally love songs about her, about Andrea.
Yeah.
And I, you know, I still know a couple of those, you know, they're not anything I want to share with the world, but, so it really started there, man. And frankly, so I did that song earlier, Till the Stars Won't Burn. I wrote that with a guy named Matthew Ryan, and he kind of came into my life, not literally, but like I got hip to his work my freshman year of high school. And so I'm all FM radio dude, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, whatever. And then I hear this guy, and it was just instantly, I mean, pretty instantly, I wanted to be a lyricist. Pretty instantly, I'm like, man, I love a riff and I love a solo, but lyrics, you know. And that dude was and is a master. So I'm gonna say I was writing my first songs about freshman year of high school. You know, I'd been playing guitar for a couple years at that point, and you know, was just the worst. But and that's been ever since. And I've certainly had multiple voices as I've figured out the man that I am, and writing for certain projects or whatever. But yeah, like you said, I think there's a through line.
Yeah, even in, you know, we talk about how I first met you with Fifth on the Floor. You were opening up for Roger Klein, and I remember walking in to that venue and seeing these guys go up on stage before Roger. I'm like, this doesn't seem like the right show. But then you started playing, right?
We were wild boys. Hey, man, I got to tell you this, and I think Roger and them boys would get a kick out of this. We started the first tour with those guys. I forget where, over in Colorado, one of those theaters. It wasn't the Gothic. I forget the name of it, but we get out of the van, and they're walking, 2 or 3 of them are walking to the bus to whatever, get a drink, whatever. And they're like, holy shit, these boys going to kick our ass. Because we just had hair everywhere, and I'm sure we all needed showers. But those guys were the sweetest and had us on a couple more tours. And yeah, we didn't know how we fit either. I felt the same way about this Great Lake Swimmers tour that I just got. You know, they were super gracious and great people, and I liked it. I liked the challenge of figuring out, okay, we ain't gonna be hollering into the mic tonight. Like let's find where I can, you know, sit and still present the songs the way I want them presented. But how can we maybe fit in the framework of the show, or I could just be an asshole and kick the lights out or whatever. But that ain't the move, you know.
Yeah. Well, even with those heavier songs with Fifth on the Floor, I mean, you could still sense that storytelling coming through. And even some of those Longs to Love, like, I mean, there's songs on those albums that are professing, or I guess more of the heartache, but like it's coming from the same place.
You know? Which is hypersensitivity. Now, the filter in that band was hypersensitivity through a bottle, you know, or two. And I hear a lot of that, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool that you sense that. I hope that's the case. That's cool.
Yeah. Do you ever foresee, at least sonically, turning back towards something like that kind of a sound versus?
It's funny you say that. I don't know how to answer it without sounding like an asshole. What I will say is I've always been drawn to artists that are not interested in repeating themselves. And I feel the same way, and I hear it. You know, you might hear a lot of consistency, but there were kind of sonic guidelines before all of my solo records, and really with Fifth on the Floor too. That, you know, okay, this record sounded like this to me, so I want to do something completely different on this, and then I want to do. So I think where I intend to go next is, I think you'll hear the room a little bit. I think it'll be a little bit raw, but. I won't be a fifth of Jack Daniels in, you know. So we'll see.
Whole new angle, yeah. I mean, I love that. I love it when an artist does do something new, because I mean, I can put on the old Fifth on the Floor albums anytime I want to. I can put on your first solo record anytime I want to. I want to hear you do something new. I want to see you explore.
Absolutely, and I love. I also love AC/DC, man. Like we can be in a good groove and stay in that groove always. But for me, I think there's some sort of like creative ADD where I'll get bored of the songs first. You know what I mean? And I want to do something different. And that's been something that I've been able to do, like I said, on these tours, and maybe trying to like rearrange some of these songs like we did here today. but yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
I think that was a kind of a trail off answer.
No, it's all right. So, what was it when you were coming up that influenced what you started listening to early on, like as a kid, that bled into what you were doing creatively?
Oh, well, I hear it. I don't know that anyone else would hear it. Okay, so I'm the oldest. I didn't have like a cool older brother, and my parents were cool. But so I listened to their music like any other kid. I listened to their music, and so mom was like a lot of Motown. Dad was a lot of like I guess classic rock. So, but it would be like Dire Straits, or it'd be Tom Petty, or certainly Pink Floyd, my favorite band. And so somewhere in there, and I hear those things in my work. I don't know that anyone else would, but I know that Motown influence, and I also know that big kind of ethereal Pink Floyd thing that I love. But when I started listening to my own music, so I'm 43 years old, so it was kind of like right after grunge, right after, it was kind of like Bush was a thing,
Yeah.
Silverchair was a thing, and that stuff, and right before the dark ages of nu metal. And yeah, like out in the county, dog. So like classic rock, you know what I mean? Like you're listening to FM radio. I didn't have a cool older brother.
Yeah.
I didn't have records, blah, blah, so there's a lot of like what was popular at the time, but it really started with that guy, Matthew Ryan, man. Like, and he was like singing about Leonard Cohen. Well, who's Leonard Cohen? And
Yeah.
that was that cracked that open. So as I stayed in like kind of a rock world, there was this like little secret, like singer-songwriter thing that was drawing me in, that kind of was a gateway to country music, man, to a certain extent. I rebelled against that. Like I was saying earlier, just left when everyone goes right. And that town that I'm from, I was the weird kid dressing like Beavis and Butthead or whatever, t-shirt and jeans. And like 3/4 of that high school was in the Future Farmers of America.
Sure,
so like,
yep.
The cool kids listen to country music and they whoop my ass. So I ain't really trying to be about their John Deere green in this. So it took me a little while to come around on country music,
Sure,
and
yeah.
I still feel like, and I love it. I love country music. I love great country music. But I still feel a little like resistant. I always feel like I'm just dipping my toe over here. I love y'all, but I ain't got no big old belt buckles, dude. It ain't happening, There ain't no fiddle. So I like to just flirt with it, but you want to call me country, that's fine. I didn't say that.
Hey, that works.
Yeah.
All right, so you spent most of this year, out with the album, touring with the album. You just finished out this tour with Great Lakes Swimmers. Great show last night in South Bend, Indiana, Stockroom East.
Yeah.
That's it, right? You've closed
That's it
out
for
the
the year.
Yeah.
We've got a little writing retreat that me and WD and Adam are about to go do, and I'm gonna try to come out of that with an album. I don't know what their goals are. But,
Sure, yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of it planned. We're just gonna go lock ourselves down in Southern Kentucky and see what happens.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
What's that look like for you? I mean, do you already have some things like loaded up and ready to go? You just have to workshop, or are you starting from scratch when you walk into that?
Used to, because I was so insecure, and I still am. But used to, I would want to have some things kind of in the chamber, or at least some starting points. I have such a working relationship with Adam and with WD at this point, and love and trust with them that. Nah, man, I'm going to go try to get it from the floor, because I really feel like what I found over years of being a writer, that the ones that I hammer on the most are often, like, I still feel like I hear it. And the special ones kind of come up, you want to be tapped into it. And I think you do need to show up to the desk and ready to write, right? This as a writer. And this is something that I suck at, is having discipline. But once it's there, man, like I know it'll come, and I can even feel it some days. Sometimes it's like, hey, man, I need to go sequester with a pen, know. But no, I think I'm going to go in this completely raw and plug the guitars in and see what kind of noise we can make.
Nice.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so sounds like maybe we can look forward to an album next
Yeah,
year. Anything
maybe.
else you got in the works?
I don't know,
Anything
man.
exciting?
What are albums doing? I don't know. Yeah, new music.
Yeah, new music. Okay, yeah.
I don't know if we're living in a post-album age. I hope not. But
I'll always buy an album. So,
me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. But I am I am interested in the challenge of whatever's happening to the framework of the music industry. I am interested in, like, okay, how can we be creative here? How can a series of singles maybe have cohesion and tell a story? It's interesting to me. I ultimately am an album guy, and I think that people would do well to just sit with a thing and take it in, instead of like trying to hurry along, but
yeah.
But we also can't dictate society, man.
No, we can't. And really, I'm the same age as you, so yeah, I grew up on albums as well, but there was an era before that. Their singles were the game.
Absolutely,
so,
man.
Yeah.
A lot of 7 inches out there, you know. So I don't know. I committed to a life in music, and you know, I don't get to necessarily steer that ship.
Yeah.
Down here in the Indies.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So.
Yeah. How does that affect how you approach things? You know, as those changes have occurred, you've been through a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't know. The quick answer is I don't know. I would say, like, in terms of releasing my music, like, for instance, the United States, that was a whole, I had written that as a sequence, as a track list with, like, some sonic notes before any lyrics were really written. And so that would have been nigh impossible to release as like a series of singles. That had to be an album.
Yeah.
Cynthiana had to be an album to me. It was less of a kind of linear story, but it's still obviously an overarching theme. These needed to be packaged together. I don't feel as committed in whatever comes next. But having said that, it'll present itself ultimately. You know, I'm not as disciplined to like necessarily write for a thing. I feel like it's a little more like I'm more interested in the discovery and like how it's going to reveal itself. So your guess is as good as mine is my lazy answer.
Sounds like you just got to be open to it, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, man, because I don't kick out a lot of volume. I mean, I ain't Charlie Crockett knocking out 2 albums a year. Like, that's cool. That's cool. I move slow.
Listen, I love
I'm a
Charlie
big old
Crockett,
boy.
but please don't, because I want to take time and enjoy your stuff. I don't want to have to cycle through it so quickly.
Yeah, and I think it's you know, that's not a criticism of Charlie's work. In fact, I don't know a lot of it, but I think that there's things to find on subsequent listens in my stuff.
Definitely,
you know,
yeah.
So sit with it's glacial, so sit with it. Don't be in a rush. You know.
Yeah. All right, so 2026. You know, this can be musical or this can be otherwise. But what's something you're looking forward to next year?
I'm looking forward to standing on firm ground, man. Like we were kind of talking about at the beginning. Like I'm a very sensitive dude, and there's a lot of things affecting me. But I feel very, very hopeful. I feel very, very confident. I know, you know, I think that for a lot of us that are like this, a lot of creatives, and really, really everybody. But you know, COVID did a thing, and I don't think that we're going to be really, truly able to catalog what it did, you know, for a generation. Really, in complete hindsight, we're going to look at how it affected all these industries and all of our mentalities. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm on track, you know what I mean, mentally for the first time since that.
Yeah.
And that I'm decisive of what about what I want to do. So having said all that, I look forward to being in control of myself, if nothing else.
Yeah.
know? That's what I look forward to.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what comes out next year, singles, albums, or otherwise.
Yeah,
Hopefully
man.
we can catch you live again in our area. It's
Yeah,
been
dude, and
great
thanks for
you in
having
town.
me, and congrats on everything y'all got going.
Hey, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, as we were discussing before we hit record, you're part of the community now, too.
Yeah.
So, in fact, 4 times you've been on the show. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you, chatting
The
with you.
pleasure's mine. And listen, y'all can't get rid of me, so don't be. I'm like a witch. You done invited me, or what, Dracula? I'm a vampire. Y'all don't let me in the house now. Like,
All right,
I know where you live.
Well, we'll take that. So, all right, Justin Wells, thank you much. And, yeah, we'll chat soon, all right?
Much love, brother.
All right.
See you.
You've been listening to Anywhere the Needle Drops from Red Chuck Productions. Keep up on new episodes of this show, our live events and various creations and other happenings over at redchuckproductions.com or by following us on social media at Red Chuck Productions. Special thanks to Hero Jr. for our theme music. You can check them out over at herojuniormusic.com. That is Hero, H-E-R-O, Junior, J-R, music.com. A big shout out to Paul Clemson and Theory One Productions for handling sound duties and so much more. Check out their magic over at theory1productions.com. And a big thank you to Earthworks Audio for outfitting the Red Chuck studio. See their microphones and their other products over at earthworksaudio.com. Be sure to support all of our guests by visiting their websites, social media, clicking that subscribe button, seeing them live, and checking out their merch stores.
Give musicians and artists your money. We'll be back with the next episode. Until then, thank you for your time. Here's to life.